Hello, everyone. My name is Shadow, and I'll be your entertainer this evening. We're back in Botany Manor, where we just entered the library, which is kind of big, but the chapter started when I opened this, so I think that's where the puzzle is. Not seeing where we start the plant yet. Actually, I think there was a planter thing out here. No, there was not. I'm mistaken. There should be a planter thing somewhere. Yes, we got Man Shadow today. Had Man Shadow for like 2 weeks, I think. Just the last few streams, you've also been streaming. Let's see. Oh, golden fish. One bright morning, a poor fisherman caught a shining golden fish. The fish cried, "Please let me live. I am not a fish, but a prince, enchanted by a wicked spell." So the fisherman let the fish go free. When the fisherman's wife learned of this, she demanded that the fish grant a wish in return for its freedom, a cottage instead of the hovel where they lived. So the fisherman returned to the shore, and the fish granted their wish. But the wife was greedy, and demanded riches, a palace, and servants, all while the ocean became darker, and the shore was black with dirt. Finally, the wife wished to be so powerful that she could grant wishes for herself. In return for this greedy request, the fish revoked all of the wishes it had granted. After that, the ocean became blue again, the shore clean, and the fisherman never saw the golden fish again. I honestly thought the wife was going to get turned into the fish, and the fish would get turned back into a human. Because that would technically give her the ability to grant wishes. Oh, be careful what you wish for thing. New Year's ball. Somerset. Cousin, wash your hands and accompany me. You won't find a husband at the bottom of the garden. I don't think I wanted a husband. Fish. Do you call a fish with no eye? Fish. Okay, so clearly the plant stuff is not up here. I reckon the fish riddle or fish fable was maybe a clue that we get. Sit. Wow. One thing about it, there's plenty of thumbnail opportunities. The Fox and the Crow. One evening, a fox was in search of something to eat for dinner. He saw the crow sitting on a tree branch, holding a big piece of tasty cheese in her beak. So the fox came up with a plan. He walked up to the crow and complimented her shiny black feathers. The crow was suspicious of the fox and kept her beak tightly closed on the cheese. The fox kept charming the crow, describing her as the most majestic of all birds, with a big, strong beak. "Oh, what a song that beak must make! It must be the song of a queen. Please, beautiful crow, let me hear it." Flattered by the praise, the crow forgot all about her suspicion and also her dinner. So she opened her beak wide to utter her loudest caw, and down fell the cheese, straight into the fox's open mouth. Interesting. So we saw a crow and we saw the fish. Guessing we're gonna see the tortoise and the hare somewhere in here. Okay, Cal, have good sleep. Yeah, that was the wrong order. So all of those are some of Aesop's fables then. Just need to find what order this goes in. We've got Wonders of the Night Sky, that's the moon. There's the crow over here. Might have something to do with the ticket, I reckon. Or maybe not. The golden fish specifically calls out morning, which is interesting. There's another book over here I don't think I read. The Hare and the Tortoise specifically calls out midday. At midday, a hare and a tortoise took a walk together. The hare moved quickly and noticed the tortoise struggling to keep up. The hare laughed and challenged the tortoise to a race. The tortoise accepted. A course was decided and the race began. The hare immediately leapt out of sight, but then lay down to take a nap, sure that the tortoise would never catch up. The tortoise plodded slowly on, making his way towards the finish line. When the hare awoke from his nap, he opened his eyes just in time to see the tortoise crawling slowly across the finish line. The proud hare had been so sure that he would win, and underestimated the tortoise. As the tortoise crossed the finish line, he exclaimed, "Slow and steady wins the race." So midday, morning. So fish, tortoise, and fish, hare. I think this one was like evening, so fish, hare, crow. Hi, Woofy. Night sky's gotta be night, so fish, hare, crow, moon. There's one more. One more book. Here. Nope. Maybe I just don't do that one. Fish, hare, crow, moon. Okay, so the sun was just morning. Still no plant stuff. Sunset 14th of October. And for the 29th of April. Key. Ah, there we go. Seeds. Nightfall progress. I've been trying to encourage the nightfall to bloom for a little while now. I'm determined to prove it's more than just a myth. So far, I've deducted that the flower opens at sunset and only during a particular time of year. When exactly that occurs still remains a mystery to me. I shall plant a few more seedlings tomorrow and continue my research. Tasks for this month: modern nightfall seedlings, rose plantings list, collect field samples, seed collection. So I'm probably going to find out it's one of these, and I'll have to recreate it. London record. Lindley appointed chair of botany at University College London. After an esteemed early career as assistant secretary to the Horticultural Society and admissions as one of the youngest ever fellows to the Linnean Society, John Lindley plans to elevate the science of botany. He spoke thus in his inaugural blah blah blah. Oh, in his inaugural lecture. It has been much the fashion of late years in this country to undervalue the importance of this science, and to consider it an amusement for ladies rather than an occupation for the serious thoughts. Lindley also challenged the Linnean classification system and proposes many changes. I don't like that guy. Anyway. Got sunset paintings and research for this plant. And we have a key for the study. That's probably where we're going to get most of our clues. And another seed packet? Sapphire Gloom. Judging by the name, I don't believe this to be an edible mushroom. Huh. It. Imagine just having a tree growing inside your study. You'd have to water it so much. Eggs? So many eggs. Oh, this is how we figure out the tree upstairs. Or not upstairs, it's both upstairs and downstairs. Anyway, it sort of looks like that root parasite thing. And considering that's all we can explore, the root parasite is a fungus that forms purple rings on the bark and roots. The parasite leaches the nutrients that the tree retrieves from the soil. Eventually, it causes the tree to dry out and lose all of its leaves. Currently no known cure. Yeah, that sounds like what we're dealing with. Mushroom food sources. Just like plants, fungi need food sources to grow strong and healthy. However, some fungi haven't always had access to nutrients through soil and have evolved to retrieve it in different ways. This means they've become carnivorous, because they only acquire the nutrients they need by consuming other living organisms such as flies, bugs, and plants. Some mushrooms even get their nutrients from feeding on another type of fungus or parasite. Mushrooms growing on a tree is usually signs that they are consuming the tree, so you should remove them. Not always the case. Arabella, I have some more books from the department that may be of interest for your research. One, I recall, was a favorite of your father's. If you have any trouble when you visit the college, tell the secretary you are collecting materials for your uncle. So long as they are returned before the summer ends, the other professors won't notice. Best of luck with your research, Uncle Theodore. And we have Meadow Orchids of Britain, which we can't actually read. My dear friend, I've been pondering these last weeks what could be the best way to see a remarkable flora reach the wider world, since it is seldom we are able to see our work published. Considering your uncle's reputation in the scientific field, have you considered asking him to publish your herbarium under his name? It may not give you the recognition you deserve personally, but it would be a way to reach your goal of adding to the scientific record on botany. Do consider it. I would hate for such important research to stay hidden away. With warmest regards, Anne. Instead, we got published. I think we're technically in this mushroom book here. It's something about a mushroom. I definitely don't have the necessary clues here, I don't think. Especially if there's only two. I could see one of the clues potentially being the eggs. If it's like comparing the eggs to the patterns. Or if the eggs are fertilizer. That would certainly be an interesting way to do that. No known cure is not promising. It's probably not. Really? Oh, one of them might have said that was a cure for one of the diseases. I should go back and read that. No? Neither of those mention the sapphire gloom. Unless the idea is that I need to basically plant it on the tree. And maybe it'll feed on the fungus? That could be what they're trying to lead me to. It certainly sprouted there. And there it goes. Huh. That was a little bit of a jump in logic, but I mean, I got there. The sapphire gloom is a wildly misunderstood mushroom. It grows commonly on trees, and as opposed to popular belief, the mushroom consumes its parasites rather than the tree itself. Okay, so that handwritten note was supposed to lead me to that. Huh. That's pretty. Okay. So we should be able to get upstairs now. Or, well, we were upstairs, but into this section of the upstairs. The trapped fairy. Trapped in a flower, I guess? Or trapped by societal expectations? Dearest Arabella, I was taking a walk along a river in Somerset recently and noticed a sight that I just had to write you about. In the water, I saw the brick chalice blooming. I had never seen or heard of it flowering before. None of my books mentioned it. It was so beautiful. Do you have any idea what would have caused this? Ever your friend, Edith. Brick chalice. Don't think that's that one. So that might be a hint for later. Cradle fern with the owl eggs. I don't remember the exact type of owl that it was, just that those stood out. And we've got a planting location. And a nice view of the front yard, in which the water in the fountain disappears. And another seed packet. Cradle fern. Past years, these ferns have drastically declined on the banks, so I feel compelled to research any changes in their environment. Okay, so we know the bird eggs were part of that. And the fern painting. Maybe the fairy painting? I need to go look at that again. I'm not sure about the letter about weeds. Petition to be presented to the Honorable House of Commons. In recent years, hunts have been taking place near the Somerset rivers. Tragically, this has led to the decline and even extinction of some bird species. No longer can we hear their beautiful chime-like calls. We call upon the governor to regulate hunting near the rivers of Somerset. We ask that they respect the breeding times of wildlife. If you agree, please sign below and return this letter to us. No expense attends signing. Your signature, Arabella Green. But we never returned it. Aquatic weed removal. Do you have a pond? Do you want to swim in it? Is it covered in slimy weeds? We are specialized in removing the following weeds: algae, Himalayan balsam, brook chalice, and duckweed. So I think that petition is part of it. I think brook chalice might be a different plant. I'm not sure yet. The trapped fairy. Oh yeah, the brook chalice is probably for that flower that was in the trapped fairy stuff. I'm probably going to find another seed soon. Once upon a time, there was a little fairy who loved gazing at her own reflection in the water. She lost track of time, and the day turned into night. Nyx, the goddess of night, noticed the little fairy. The moon was shining bright, but the fairy only had eyes for herself. Nyx took offense and decided to punish the little fairy. Nyx placed the fairy into a nightfall and cast a spell on her. She fell in love with the moon and gazed upon the sky all night. As dawn approached and the sun arose, the spell broke. So just as the fairy awoke from her enchantment, the flower bud closed and trapped the fairy for eternity. So nightfall is probably going to only be able to, or rather, yes, that is nightfall. Oh, that is this one. Fairy story. And the fairy painting. Oh, Kibby. Poor Kibby. Dearest friend, it seems our interest in visiting the private plant collection of Lord Spencer has gone unacknowledged. While disappointing, I am not sure it is worth pursuing scientific study in such places. On my recent visit to Grimsby, the young man showing us around had barely a basic knowledge of plants, and due to there being a large group of gentlemen in the party, all useful time and erudition was devoted to them, and none given to Constance and I. Let us plan another trip of our own, and perhaps we can see these specimens in their home habitats where they belong. Ever your faithful friend, Eliza. Of course. Sprains, strains, and joint pains. Interesting. Classic old-fashioned, what was the term? It's not alchemy, it's not herbology, it's something that starts with an A and is something like alchemy. I can't remember the word. It's like you're doing alchemy with herbology. Dear Arabella, here's our quote to repair the geyser in your bathroom. Cost might be high, but trust us, it's a complex job best left to the professionals. Have a nice day. Frederick. And I'm guessing they didn't do that. Apothecary. There's another related word to apothecary. I don't think that's quite what I was after. Can be used multiple times in a row without any extra cost. I would sure hope so. Goodness. No, 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 stop. Oh, I thought that was gonna mess with the water over there. Guess the toilet's flushed now. And technically, yes, if you don't know what you're doing, you probably should not install your own pipes. Because there's a whole thing of, like, you want to make sure you've got Loctite, and you want to make sure the fittings are all the right size, and technically there's a whole thing with, like, building codes and needing to know those and being certified and stuff. Anyway. Oh. So there's supposed to be a plant here. Which I'm guessing is the fern? Since that's... Or no, that's gonna be the waterweed. That's gonna be the chalice. The brook chalice. Which we don't have a seed for yet. Oh, there's already one there. I'm pretty sure the cradle fern has something to do with those eggs. I'm just not sure where I'm going to get an owl or eggs from. Oh, almost forgot to have a sit. Take a break. Admire the seed setup. Alright. I'm also realizing I didn't find a duck in the library. There might not have been a duck in the library. Oh, another place to sit. Beneath the rickety stairs. Got a key. Ooh, a lot of space. Dear Lady Arabella, I wanted to thank you once again for your invaluable contributions during our recent meadow orchid research expedition. Your keen observations and deep knowledge of orchids was so helpful. Your dedication to the field is an inspiration to us all. I look forward to future collaborations and the continued exploration of the botanical wonders that surround us. I'll put in a good word for you with the Botanical Society. Most sincerely, Professor Montague. Unfortunately, one good word doesn't seem to change the opinions of men in the 1800s. Health and safety warning. It's been brought to our attention that the factory of Barton Iron Works has been illegally dumping scrap metal in rivers across Somerset. These rivers are now polluted with rust, making them unsafe for swimming. Do not swim in the following rivers: River Cam, River Sommer, or River Chew. River Frome was also affected by waste, though oddly, the river is completely clear of rust pollution. We are still researching what led to that effect. Might be related to the chalice? River swimming this season. We want to make sure you can all enjoy swimming this summer, so we have cleared the most popular rivers in Somerset of all aquatic reeds. River Cam, the River Chew, and the River Summer have been cleared of weeds thanks to... Okay, yeah. I don't have the seed yet, so I can't sort those, I don't think. Seed. Yeah, that's going to be the chalice, I'm pretty sure. Dearest Arabella, I'm writing to share with you an exciting discovery I've made in botanical studies. It turns out that some plants are particularly sensitive to sound and seem to thrive when exposed to music or melodies from their natural environment. I hope to share some of my findings with you in the near future and would be delighted if you could join me in my research. Your sincere friend, Marianne. That's probably for the one with the bird. Nope, that was the wrong button. Not Nightfall. That should probably be the cradle fern for the birds. Melodies, though. It might not be. There's two more clues related to it. It is. It's this and bird calls. So the crested owl, that's what it was. So E, C, D, E, G, F. Okay. Okay. I got it. Letter about melodies and bird calls. And what's the owl? E, C, D, E, G, F. E, C, D, E, G, F. E. Welcome in, Lucid. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, this is more like 1870s. Yeah. But yeah, technically 70s. Let's see. We've got the attic key now. Ooh, moths. And a moth spotting calendar? Is that? Probably gonna be this one, I reckon. No, there's too much moth stuff. There's probably another plant in here somewhere. Gardening curiosities. Sometimes a moth can become trapped inside a flower, but if it closes in... Oh, this is the trapped fairy stuff. The moth is then forced to use the flower bud as a resting place until it opens again later. Some flowers only bloom for short periods during the year. If the moth is unlucky, the flower bud won't open again until many months later. That's... Trapped fairy was a moth that someone saw coming out of a flower, I reckon. And we're going to recreate the moth, question mark? First we need the actual... Do I have the flower seed for that? Okay, the seed packet is somewhere in here. What? I don't know why I picked that up. The sight of plants. Some scientists have theorized that plants have photoreceptors in their leaves and stems, which allows them to see the color of light. This means that flowers can tell the time of day and know when to open or close their buds. The exact time that flowers bloom is different for each flower, but most do appear to respond to light and the color of light in some way. Horticulturists and botanists have made use of this knowledge to trick difficult flowers into blooming at any time they like. Okay. So that's either for nightfall or the chalice. Most likely the chalice at the moment. Or no, the chalice is... The chalice is the weed. My dear niece, I fear the window may be closing for you to find a suitable husband. I've arranged a dinner for you to meet my neighbor's son Edward. He is successful in business in London. Your cousins William and Thomas may well aspire to become accomplished scientists, but for you, Arabella, it is better to make yourself useful in the small duties of... So anyway, the brick chalice. That was all of the river stuff, if I remember correctly. Weed removal and the letter about weeds. I think that one should be. Government notice. And the river stuff. So now we just need to find the seed for that. Which is here. So then that means... Oh yeah, we have attributed the fairy to this one already. Okay, so Nightfall needs to think it's sunset and something about moths, which is going to be up here somewhere. The Botanist's Digest. This month, in conversation with Professor Montague, leading expert in British meadow orchids. In his words, every plant, every leaf, and every meadow holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. My aim is simply to uncover some of those mysteries. Professor John Montague, renowned botanist, sheds light on his groundbreaking work in the world of meadow orchids and other botanical wonders. With decades of research and numerous publications to his name, Professor Montague's contributions to the field have been nothing short of revolutionary, including discoveries of new species such as Dactylorhiza montague or hood marsh orchid. Could have sworn the last time we heard something about a hooded orchid was when we discovered it. Oh, there's a duck. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Finally found another duck. Hmm. Oh. Oh, I know what this guy needs. This guy needs to come with me. This guy's going in the bathtub. Yeah, so far this game's pretty fun. Only time I had too much trouble was with the apple cider and the math. But we're getting there. Okay, so which river? River Frome. Oh, can't walk through there. River Frome is 25 degrees. Oh, wrong button again. 25 degrees. There we go. Go grab our plant. And off we go. Yeah. The brook chalice prefers to grow in rivers with a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. The plant naturally filters water from rust and metal. Unfortunately, they get removed often as most people prefer their ponds to be weed-free. I would think that most people wouldn't consider a flowering plant to be a weed, though. Then again, it's hard to tell what most people think. Alright. So last but not least, Nightfall. Which wants a sunset. Something about trapped moths. I'm wondering if the fairy matches up with a specific moth, maybe? Because her wings are drawn very specifically. Yeah, the garden tiger moth. So we'll see when that is. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Garden Tiger, September. Make sure it's not anywhere else. Yeah, it seems to just be September. So let's go look at the painting for September. May, July, October, April, June, September. It's blue, yellow, orange, and red. Blue, yellow, orange, red. Blue, yellow, orange, red. There's no pots up here. I forgot to grab the plant. There we go. Yeah. And there it is, ready to trap a fairy. Or a moth. I hope it doesn't want to trap a moth. That would be very unfortunate for me right now. Seeing the nightfall bloom is a rare event. The flower only blooms with September sunsets. Night pollinators active in September, such as the garden tiger, often get trapped once the bud closes for the rest of the year. That would be unfortunate. Hey, gatehouse delivery! Zoom. Just about to say, I wonder where I'm getting my next key. Here we go. For the formal garden. So I guess all the gardens so far have been informal. Lady Arabella, I apologize wholeheartedly for accidentally taking the key to the formal garden home with me. It was in my pocket, and I had simply forgotten it was there. I didn't want to disturb your research, so I've left the key in the basket here for you. Sincerely, Jimmy. Well, at least he got it back here. So where the heck was the formal garden? Oh, there was the locked space over here. Probably that. Nope, not that one. And we can't climb over or under this table. There's a... Oh, right. I forgot about that. Thank you. Let's see. Formal garden is 13. Oh, so through the back. That should work. Oh, wrong button. Completely forgot there was a locked gate back here. Duck. I can't spin this duck, so I guess I'm just gonna walk around it awkwardly. I can't even walk around it. There's a wall here. And something to interact with down there. No spinning this duck. Why is there just food left out here? I sort of understand the oranges, because there's just oranges everywhere. But you'd think you'd at least put away your eggs. It was a message. Local man reports mystery signal. A gentleman farmer has reported sightings of mysterious blinking lights coming from caves near his home in Cheddar. In his own words, I was walking my dog and lost track of time a little. It soon became dark, and I decided to make the walk back home. On the way to the house is a tiny cave, and as I walked by, I noticed a blinking light pattern cast from the cave entrance. I was sure it was one of those Morse code messages. When I approached the cave, the light source vanished. Nobody was there. I'm convinced what I saw was the Morse code abbreviation for attention. I will never forget that one abbreviation, as it was the first message I learned in Morse code. Local authorities have assured our journalists that there have been no recent military activity or exercises in the area, so the mystery remains unsolved. Probably aliens. Definitely aliens. Seed packet. Spring dance shrub. This flowering bush used to grow in the gardens, but have completely disappeared when I was off on my travels. And have a sit. Darn pillar blocking the view of the manor. Otherwise, very lovely view. Well, there's our potting location. Ah, here's a better place to sit. Now we can see everything without any pillars in the way. Mr. Bennet, the telegraph you ordered arrived while you were at the farmer's market. They delivered it by boat. I left it at the boathouse, since I don't know where you'd like to keep it. There appears to be a Morse code manual inside the case as well. You know what? That makes sense. If you're going to order something that you need to know Morse code to use, it makes sense to send a guide for how to use Morse code. My sweet Hazel, are you keeping well today? Jimmy's only gone and broken the lawnmower again. If it weren't for my war injury, I wouldn't be letting him loose with the mower. He said he ran over some hard object down in the long grass near the pond. I had a brief look and couldn't see anything. Sometimes I wonder about that boy's sensibilities. Send me some of your lovely scones. Yours always, Mr. Bennet. Ah, and the Morse code stuff. Only ever learned one thing in Morse code, and that's SOS. I guess we're gonna need fertilizer for this one? Or one of them, at least. They're probably gonna throw multiple of them at me at the same time again. Oh! Hydrangeas. I have actual hydrangeas, so I'm vaguely familiar with this one. Hydrangeas are beautiful flowers that contain anthocyan. Anthocyanin, which is a pigment that can change color depending on the pH level of its environment. The colors can vary between red, purple, and blue. Usually more pink than red, but yeah. At least in my experience. And I'm guessing the different pots are going to be different pHs or something? Considering they were next to the guide for hydrangeas? It would be interesting if they throw in that you need more than one variable. So far, it's mostly just been the one. Wonder what they're painting over there. Ah, exactly what you would expect them to be painting. The scenery. I am somewhat curious why we have what seem to be clues for hydrangeas. It seems like we just have hydrangeas all around. That's probably not what we're going to be planting. Well, clearly that needs to go somewhere. Phenomena of spiritualism. My dearest cousin, while I hold a deep fascination for the pursuit of knowledge and science, I must admit that the subject of spiritualism is not one that particularly captivates me. Therefore, I must return this book to you. However, I appreciate your efforts in sharing your interests with me. With affection, Arabella. Ooh, Will-o'-the-Wisp. The will-o'-wisp is an eerie apparition that has long been the subject of both fear and fascination. It makes its appearance to lost travelers in dark, isolated places, and beckons them to follow with its beguiling, blinking light. Many a wanderer has followed the wisp's alluring light across marshes or into caves, never to be seen again. Take heed, those who venture into dark places. Resist the temptation of the will-o'-wisp's shining radiance. Turn back before it's too late. I think one of the working theories on how that works is that it's like bog gases that catch fire or something, and they create little like little flames that extinguish themselves before you can reach them. But then because he went towards the place that uh, bog gases are coming from, you like fall into the bog, and then people tend to get stuck there. Well, that's convenient. Not quite done exploring out here, though. There's the table I couldn't possibly have crawled under or climbed over or moved in any capacity. Fool's Emerald. friend gifted me these seeds, so I don't know too much about them yet. Do I even have any clues currently? I have telegraph, military codes, hydrangeas, pot catalog, and news article, which these three I know are all about the same thing. I don't know about those two yet. Those two are probably related to the same thing. But I don't know if those are this yet. The marvel of bioluminescence. In the darker corners of the world, there are plants and organisms that are able to produce their own light. These plants, fungi, and insects are most often found in areas of low light, such as dark forests, deep oceans, and gloomy caves. Recent discoveries show that chemicals such as luciferin are responsible for this glowing effect. It is not known what this glowing effect is used for, but it could be for communication with others of the same species or to attract pollinators for food. Scientists believe that there are many bioluminescent species waiting to be discovered. So that's probably related to the Fool's Emerald. And that's got to be related to the trying to get bioluminescence to work. Kibis. Sincerest greetings. Dearest Arabella, I was delighted after our recent mentoring session. You do excellent work as a fellow scholar of the natural world. I recall the spring dance shrub that once grew in your garden before you departed on your travels. How wonderful it would be to see it growing again. I've been compiling plant specimens that require pollination to mature into their adult stage. I wonder if the spring dance shrub is one of these plants. Ever your affectionate friend, Lavinia. So that actually might be what the bioluminescence is about then. Because it was talking about attracting pollinators. I should probably sort these. I'm pretty sure the Fool's Emerald is going to be these, but I don't know enough to actually sort them yet. This is actually a nice little tutoring station. I love that. That is delightful. Just sit and relax in the sun while you're learning about plants. I'd love that. Oh. Hi, Burb. Sorry for startling you. I need to go past. So I'm guessing I can relocate that. Yeah, there's other hooks, it seems. I'm not sure why I would do that yet. There we go, now that's unlocked. Ooh, more stuff. Ah, yes. Okay, so it's still technically the same the same variable. It's just a combination of the two things. So whichever one needs the pH, which I think it's probably not the spring shrub. I think that's going to be the bioluminescence. It is the spring dance shrub. Huh. Okay. I'm missing something there then. The greeting card was definitely about the spring dance. These are all about soil pH, which we just figured out is for the spring dance. So if there were incorrect clues there, it had to have been the bioluminescence stuff. Dear Miss Green, I've recently heard of your involvement in the mentoring of aspiring botanists. Botany is a field that demands a thorough understanding of its complexities, and while I admire your dedication, the saying the blind leading the blind does come to mind. I'll just decide I do hope your endeavors in mentoring will yield some semblance of progress. Sincerely, Professor Thornton. Yeah, well, if you just let her into the friggin' university so she could study botany, then again, they probably wouldn't have cared if she had done well in university anyway. Dear Mr. Bennet, thank you so much for the lovely bunch of rhubarb from your nephew's garden. You needn't have sent anything in return for the herbal poultice I gave him for his little one, but I am grateful all the same. I know he hasn't the money to fetch the doctor. Since you said he cannot read a note, please send him my thanks when you see him. Faithfully yours, Hazel. Wonder what the deal's gonna be with the bird. Leave that there for now. Also have a sit. Always gotta admire the garden. Ah, hat. I cannot have hat. I would like hat. Attracting birds with color. Just like bees, birds can pollinate flowers. But did you know that birds have a preference to pollinate flowers of certain colors? Oh, so that's what it meant with pollinators. There we go. So the spring dance needs a particular pH, and pollination. I think what we saw over there it had red markings. I think it was either the bullfinch or the robin. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna end up putting it there. Let's go get the pot first. And check out the bird, of course. Yeah, it's black with a white chest and a red face. Kind of an orangish red. So that is the robin. I'm guessing we'll probably need to take that over here and, like, scare the bird between feeders or something like that. Ah, I forgot to check the pH thing. So robins like red flowers. To get red, we need between 12 and 14. Which is sandstone and seaweed. There we go. And I'm guessing it's not just gonna come to the... Yeah, it's not just gonna come over to the flower. But now we must lure the bird closer and closer by spooking the bird. Hi! Next one's there. Why? Why up there? The bird is not playing well with the puzzle. I can't even see the bird from here. Okay, but I know there's food here. Bird, go eat the food. This is going to be incredibly tedious if I have to wait like an hour for every single bird movement. Okay, I don't scare the bird at all, apparently. The bird has zero reason to leave its current food location, and yet it moves to the newest one. You know what? I'm not gonna argue. It's working. It's working, that's all I care about. That does explain why there's two ways around here. So you can lure the bird without spooking it. Friggin' bird, though. It knew the food was there. That is a massive shrub. And a lot more birds. Solanum rubicarula. The spring dance shrub contains anthocyanins, causing it to change color depending on the pH level of its environment. Robins love red flowers and will be attracted to the red variant of this shrub. You. How are there so many robins here now? Just a minute ago, there was only one, and I had to chase it everywhere. Well, not quite chase, but you get what I mean. Oh, it's dark in here. Yep, this one's definitely the bioluminescent one. Still missing a clue, though. And to be honest, I don't... Oh no, I got the seed. We do know this is going to go in here. Just probably needs something else as well. Probably a sound something. Based on what we have. The boathouse might have a telegraph? Oh wait, yeah, no, the letter. Here I was thinking the boathouse was just gonna be the next chapter. Not chapter, but like the next full set of plant. Which it probably is, considering this. I cannot swim. Or rather, I can't go try to swim. Well, yes, there's a way to do Morse code here. I don't seem to be able to... Can I take this? I can take this with me. I am stealing a telegraph machine. I'm still one clue short. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to, So we needed the one for attention. A. Ah, the last clue was literally just how to do Morse code. So Ka. K is dash dot dash. A is dot dash. Whoop, wrong button. Well, that's pretty. The fool's emerald is a vine that contains luciferin, which allows it to create light. They grow in caves where they use the light to communicate with each other, very much like Morse code. There's only one more drawer for a plant seed, which is interesting considering I think I'm only in the second to last. Oh, no, I'm in the last chapter. I thought we were still in the second to last. Come to think of it, though, I think there's still... No. I thought there were unfinished seeds from chapter 1. I was incorrect. Been wondering this whole time when we would go back to that. Turns out we are not. Another hat. And someone literally just left a sandwich out here. Like, there's basically no one around, and people are just leaving sandwiches and I think probably soft-boiled eggs sitting around. Not to mention their shoes. And leaving fires on in their houses. Do these people know how dangerous that is? Your entire house could burn down. Goodness, how many times do I have to explain these things? Hedgehog. Hedgehogs are protected from predators by their coat of needles. Gray squirrels. The North American gray squirrel is larger than the red, with smaller ears. Forages food, but can also digest some seeds straight away. Rabbit. Fun! Rabbits live in many habitats and burrows underground. They come above ground to graze in the morning and evening. Red squirrel. Red squirrels live in nests high up in trees. They sometimes forage food back to the nests to keep for later. Woodmouse. Woodmice are very small and live in woodlands, but also many other habitats including fields, parks, meadows, and gardens. Mole. Moles live underground and have poor vision. They find food and mates using their sense of smell and touch. Acorn. Collect 3 tokens. Worm. Collect 4 tokens. Field card. Collect 0 tokens. And ocelot seed. Grass. Collect 2 tokens. Pine cone. Collect 2 tokens. Also pine cone. Oh no, that was the pine cone I drew. Origin critters. Game rules. Shuffle the food cards and place the stack face down in the center of the game board. Place the food tokens around the food cards on the board. Place the animals on the start tile. Players choose their animal by rolling the dice. The highest roller chooses first. Take turns to roll the dice and move your animal along the woodland path. The highest roller goes first. If you land on a food tile, pick up a food card. If your animal matches the card, you can collect the tokens specified on the food card. If you land on a gray squirrel tile, it steals all your food tokens, and they must be returned to the board. The player who has the most food tokens in their nest at the end of the game is the winner. Those darn gray squirrels. Always stealing your food. How weeds spread. Weeds can take over an area quite rapidly. Some weeds have adapted in order to spread their seeds as far away as possible. The plant itself does not have much control over this, but trusts nature to lend a helping hand. Wood avens and goosegrass have seeds with a hook designed to attach to the fur of passing animals. They are then carried and dropped up to several miles away. Hearing a very concerned cat. She's actually very concerned. Concerned cat has been soothed. She is okay now. I don't know what she was concerned about, but I'm guessing it was probably a neighbor with a dog. Or perhaps her sister was refusing to play with her. That is very common. Let's see, where were we? Dandelions have seeds with an attached feathery puff that allows them to simply be carried by the wind to a faraway location. Other plants, such as lords and ladies, wrap their seeds in an attractive berry, which birds consume and then later deposit as waste a great distance away. A final, more mysterious example is the seed of the ocelot. It is known to be picked up by critters who then take it back to their nest. As soon as the animal goes to sleep, the seed sprouts into a bloom. It's not quite understood how the plant is able to detect when the creature is asleep. Interesting. So the ocelot is what we have now. Is ocelot in here? I think I saw it. Yeah, an ocelot seed. 0 tokens. So it's not edible. So that's a clue. It's also not on the list here. That's a custom card. Or no, none of the food is on that list. That doesn't do much good without a cylinder, does it? It's Daisy Dreams. Like 400 beats per minute. 120. $50. Nocturne. It's probably going to be that one. Blossom is 90. It's probably something about heart rate. 70 beats per minute. A waltz. So that's an option, but I think it's going to be this one. Stop doing that. Here's our seed. We have something about heart rates. Animal husbandry and rehabilitation. Animal heartbeat rates given in BPM. Okay. It says critters there, so I need to find which one. Oh, it's field card. So field creature. Red squirrel. Red squirrel resting heart rate is 120. There it goes. I forgot to add the last clue. It's okay, I should still be able to. The ocelot's seed is picked up by small animals such as the red squirrel, who then store it inside their nests. Once the animal falls asleep, the ocelot depends on the heartbeat vibrations to break open and bloom. Hey. Well, it's not a gatehouse delivery, but apparently I'm going to the gatehouse. We may as well zoom. And it's the zoom music, so zoom. Well, I missed. Rotten Flora by Arabella Green. Mayflower Publishing House in Bedford Square, London. And there it goes. Botany Manor, a game by VRoid Studios. Heckin' good game. I like that. The music was so good too, especially when you had to zoom to the gatehouse. Still a little irked by the math puzzle, but that's because I had to do math. I want to play more. They should make a Botany Manor too. What? But I guess that's it. Oh, 1 year later. Heck yeah. Book is published, hopefully. Sure. We cannot go upstairs. And I'm guessing this is locked. How did we get locked in our own library? Presented to Lady Arabella Green by the Women's Education Union on the occasion of her opening the Green School of Botany. Heck yeah! That is a very cool key. Oh, the school is in our library. I love that. I wonder how many students accidentally open up that door. It's our herbarium! Forgotten Flora, air purifying flowers. My dear Flora, I'm terribly sorry your herbarium didn't get picked up for publishing, though I am most excited about your new plans to turn Botany Manor into a botanical academy. I look forward to visiting the school and meeting the talented students you've taken under your wing. Let's hope they carry on our fight. Lots of love, Elizabeth. Yes. Arabella, I hope you don't mind me still calling you by your childhood pet name. What? Ah, I didn't get to ring the bell. I didn't realize that would end it. Probably should have realized. Yeah, I guess that's it. In good game. Well, that's Botany Manor done. So, that's going to be all for stream today. So for now, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, you can find my previous episode of this and all other games that I've played on my YouTube channel at Roanoke VT. And if you'd like to catch other games that I play live in the future, you can do so at twitch.tv/ShadowRoanokeVT. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.